Alright, welcome in everyone. Today I'm going to do a little breakdown for all the rising signs for this upcoming Gemini new moon because it's a big deal, okay? So here's the Gemini new moon. I just want to make sure, can you see my cursor? Yeah. I hope you can see it on this recording. So this is going exact May 26th on Monday at 10:02 p.m. here in Louisiana. By the way, excuse the noise. I live in the city and it is loud. Okay, so I listen to my rain sounds and we're trying a microphone. Okay, so I'm trying to give you some information because this feels like a very important new moon. There's a lot of potential with this new moon for fruitful work to be done, like channeling some type of journalism book, ideas, fantasy, like endless when it comes to Gemini mercurial things, like any type of communication, podcast, being on social media, whatever your platform is, whatever your art is, whatever you like to make, even with your hands. There's a great potential with this new moon, okay? So I'm going to go through, I'm just going to do real quick for each rising sign. This is for your rising sign. You can, of course, please listen to your moon sign or your sun sign if those are very significant in your chart, especially if you have Gemini placements. However, this is Hellenistic astrology. I use whole sign, and this will be based off your rising sign, which you need your birth time for, okay? So the time that the new moon goes exact, the ascendant, the rising sign is actually going to be Capricorn. So we're just going to start with Capricorns. Okay, so for Capricorns, this is in your 6th house. This is a big deal. This is a big deal because this means that this is work. That your 6th house is day-to-day routines, work, stability. It's also health. Okay, so if you've been having health problems, if you've been having health problems, this could be either the beginning of the end of those, or you maybe start to experience the beginning of some type of something that you need to work out that has to do with your day-to-day routines, your health habits, maybe even working too much. However, like again, this new moon is in positive trine to Pluto, which is also power, control, and wealth, like large wealth. So because this is in your 6th house, like if you're doing something when it comes to work, some innovative idea that you come up with or something like that, it could be very fruitful for you, okay? Because that's in your 2nd house. Pluto here is in your 2nd house of personal finances. So yeah, and this is like why I say this is even more so is because we have Jupiter, which is rules opportunities, cosmic drops of Jupiter, opportunities and windfalls of money and fruitfulness and abundance. Okay, so it's crow present. So, and the Uranus that's here is bringing this sudden, it could even have to do something with your partner could be getting switched up, or your partner could maybe help you come up with this new idea, or something in your partner's life is creating this change, or in your romantic life. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the next sign. We're going to move on to Aquarius. So for you, this is happening in your 5th house of romance and pleasure and play and creativity. So once again, I'll tag the video where I talk more about how fruitful I believe, like, people can make good money off of whatever they begin at this time when it comes to this Gemini new moon. Excuse me, because it's a good time for channeling it. But this has to do with pleasure and like all the most famous writers, they've like channeled things. They have all these 5th house placements. Okay, so this is huge because this is all about creativity and pleasure and fun and play. And there can be a shakeup going on right now with the IC and Uranus in your 4th house of home and family. There could be some shakeup, but something could be changing, or you could be having a child. This could be conception. You may conceive or have a child. So if you're not wanting that, or if you do want that, use this time, especially with Jupiter there for sure. So take that as you will. Yes, and the North Node is in your 2nd house. Yeah, so if whatever comes up is a very fated thing for you, a lot of people probably really will be growing their families or something. In some aspect, let me know. Drop a line below, please. And please subscribe and like, and if you like my content, and I will make more of these. This is my first time doing the chart breakdown for the risings. This is again for Aquarius, but you can be checking your sun and moon as well. Or if you're a lurker and you like to see all of them, love it even more. You have the North Node of fate and destiny in your 2nd house of personal finances and personal property and things you own. So that's what I even mean. It could even be like another family member. However, this is also whatever starts with being seated right now for the next 6 months has a great potential for great reward. But tap into your intuition. Okay, next, we're going to go move on to Pisces. My Piscean. Where are my Piscean people at? Okay, so this Gemini new moon is happening in your 4th house. Ooh, you got to let some shakeups. See, that can be a little difficult. That can be difficult. That can be great. Again, like I said, that's not the 5th house, but that could deal with growing your family. So be careful about that, especially with Jupiter there. Or you may be taking in people, or you may be taking care of like a new family member that might start coming up, or like something with the home is changing. Okay, something within the home. Maybe you're moving homes, maybe you're rearranging the home, maybe a new addition, having to move a family member in. Something's going on in the home. Okay, and this might be psychologically hard with it connected to Pluto in the 12th house. You have the North Node in your 1st house right now. And then you have Saturn in your 2nd. So, okay, yeah. And something could get tight with your finances because of this. But I think you can get more strict. Sorry, excuse the noise. I live in New Orleans. People are crazy. But maybe that's a sign, though. But because what I was going to say was you could get more structure about your finances and gain a lot of money. Like, that's a good potential with this Saturn that has now moved into your 2nd house of Aries. Like, an innovative way to make money, better way to make money to support this new change in your life. Okay? So, good luck to my Pisces people. Please drop a line if this resonated, or if you like my stuff, please subscribe. All right, so to my Aries rising people, Aries moon over here. And we've been getting lit up, so, like, this is probably very relevant. Okay, this is in your 3rd house. This Gemini new moon is in your 3rd house. Oh, that's even better, because so if you have some creative idea, any mercurial journalism, writing a book, screenplay, video, anything, vlogging, whatever it is, going around your local neighborhood or your local, like, where you live, and doing speeches, or like holding group gatherings, or teaching something. It could be going on. This could be seeded right now. Like, the seed is getting planted, and over the next 6 months, you could see some type of change. Could even be something about a car. I'm feeling like you might have a vehicle change, or like your local, like, trips could change. So I'm not saying you're moving, but there's always like something. Maybe you're changing how you work. Maybe you work from home. Your route changes, something like that. Oh yeah, and then we also, because then you have Saturn in the 1st, and now, ooh yeah. So if you weren't in alignment, life's gonna make you be in alignment. Be careful of health problems coming up. To listen to your body, but this could be good for you to get your shenanigans in order and like your routines. Okay, so I'm wishing you all the best, and you may find from this change in your 3rd house, like this local neighborhood trips, in the connection to Pluto in your 11th, which is like benefactors and social circles and networking. You may meet like life-changing networks. Okay, thank you, Aries rising. Love y'all. Love my Aries. I'm an Aries moon for life. Okay, moving on. This better be recording. To my Taurus rising people. You're the opposite of me, so. Okay, so yeah, for you, it's your 2nd house. Okay, that's your personal finances, the things that you own. You could be seeding the idea for a book that is very fruitful, or like some type of marketing, some type of writing, some type of something with communication that could really gain your personal finances. You could also be gaining like a new piece of property, like a car, or like something, or if you're trying to manifest that, this is a great time to manifest that, the things that you want, a different house, a different car. If you want to do this project that's mercurial in any way, we're using your hands, that's far and wide. If you want a vehicle, okay, Taurus rising people, this is your time to seed that. Okay, I'm talking on, it'll be Monday, okay, but over these days, like over this next week, like tap in, do witchy things if you don't usually do that, because this is a good potential to do so with Jupiter co-present. That's the ability. You've got Mars in the 4th right now, okay, and square. Be careful right now with Mars in the 4th, okay. I had my house fire with Mars in the 4th. You could just have intentions at home, especially opposite. Yeah, just and there could be change in your work here with this Pluto MC. Anyways, but no, so going back to the Mars, I didn't mean to fearmonger anyone. Everyone's fine. It could be a change up in the house. It could be very motivating for you. It could be great. Okay. So, but just be careful of flare-ups. People might be having like ego little wars because it is in Leo or whatever. But don't let it get in your way of this very fruitful time. Okay. And yeah, and whatever this is, it has the ability to make you like well-known or like rich from the public, in the public. Listen up, Taurus people. All right, love y'all. Drop it if this resonates with you, and let me know how it ends up working out for you. Little spontaneous changes too. You know, you've had Uranus in your first house for a long time, 8 years. It's about to move though. It's about to move. Okay, Gemini rising people. To my Gemini rising, this is yours. This is your new moon. This is your new moon. It's in your first house. It's all about you. This is all about you. This is a complete change in how you look, what you do, anything, your appearance, what the work that you do. It could be many different things. And it can be, again, very fruitful to your ninth house, this Pluto. Yeah. Like, so you teaching or something, or like training people or teaching people, holding group gatherings and like making money on that, like all sorts of things. But there's a new seed being planted where you get to use your own strength, your own Gemini strength, which is all this intellect and all these ideas and all these thoughts. And yeah, and you've got Mars in the third. So you can maybe even use community or like your local neighborhood, like your group, your community, and work on something, collaboration together. Yeah, especially with the Saturn, Neptune, Venus in the 11th of friends and benefactors. So you're a lot of things are probably changing for you. Like your life is really changing in a great way. And this is very positive. Like I said, with Jupiter there, it's just very positive. Okay. So let's move on to the next sign. We've got Cancer. All right. To my Cancer rising people. Let's see. Ooh. All right. This is the first one that's a little more difficult, but also good. By the way, this is the Astro for my UFO. I have a UFO couch. I love it. And now I'm finally doing these videos because it's time. You know what I mean? Like, what have I been doing? Now that my eye got taken out. Anyway, sorry. Cancer. All right, this is in your 12th house. Okay, so the 12th house can be a little more difficult. And it can be a little more, you might have problems sleeping, or maybe it'll help your sleep. Or you might, some people, I just got a message about some people with sleep apnea. Check your sleep. You may have sleep apnea and not know it. Or that may come to, like, you may come to see that. Also, this could bring up difficult fears or things from underneath the surface that are ready to come to your awareness now. And it could be anything, okay? I'm not saying it has to be super dark, but it could be anything. And it's for you to break through it, okay? And, like, and like, you can relieve yourself of self-sabotaging behavior. You could, yeah, there's a potential to break through something that's been very deep in the subconscious, especially with that connection to Pluto. But with these positive aspects and trines, like it feels like you'll be able to break through it, and then you can maybe even use this to help others in the future. All right. So moving on to the next sign, we're on that Leo live. Leo, we're getting there. All right. So to my Leo risings. All right, so this Gemini new moon is happening for you in your 11th house, which is benefactors, social circles, networking, the house of joys. Like, this could be a total change and shakeup in your community and like how you connect to people and what you do and how you do connect and how you communicate to your community. Maybe you want to communicate more and get involved in your community. Maybe you have this drive to find more community that like is more tantalizing and like makes you think more, and you guys can think up ideas, and it feels like very working with other people to collaborate in making something, to be honest. And there might be something with higher education with that Saturn and oh sorry, hang on, I hope this is recording, I'll be so upset. The Saturn in the 9th, yeah, you could like be getting some higher education or going to a next level with something, and using that in some capacity as well. Let me see, is there anything else? Okay, yeah, and so there, if you have a supportive partner or something, there could be changes in your partnerships and relationships, like I said, especially with this new moon, the 11th house, like new people coming in, and there could be some type of supportive change. Like maybe you have to, something's changing within your partner, so you have to also change and move, and then that's like affecting your social networking and stuff. But it seems very positive. Okay, so Leo risings, drop me a line if this resonates. I love y'all. I have a Leo stellium. I love Leos. Okay, Virgo sun here. Hello to my Virgo risings. This is in your 10th house, dude. This is in your 10th house. This is about that work, dude. Okay, this is your chance. You can come up with something now. You can channel something now. You can use your words, your thought, your brain, your amazing little brain, large brain, and you can use that in the public somehow. And then, yeah, and make work out of it. Like literally, it's in trine to your 6th house Pluto, the Pluto in the 6th. day routines and work and health habits. You may be going through a lot of changes with your health. Like, you may have had to be more conscious, and maybe you're even talking about that. Maybe you like make a vlog and like, or you teach people because you learned like what you're learning or whatever, something like that. Okay. You also have the Saturn in the 8th. Okay, that can be a little difficult. I feel like there's just like a big restructuring in how you take care of yourself or how you helped others take care of themselves. That's really what I'm feeling for my Virgo risings. I love y'all, you know, Virgo for life, literally. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to my Libras. 1 second. Okay, so for my Libra rising people, this Gemini new moon is actually going to be in your 9th house of higher education, higher learning, spirituality, astrology, trips abroad. You may be planning a trip abroad that just like spontaneously comes up, actually. Or if you're having a trip, or if you'll start planning and thinking about a trip. If you have a trip, be careful with this Uranus so close. If you have a trip like over the moon, there could be some delays and like whatever with Uranus and Mercury so close together here. But this is good. You may be wanting to seek higher knowledge. You may be going through a little bit of an awakening. You might be starting to see things a little differently. I like this for you. This is going to be connecting to your 5th house of romance and play and pleasure. So it's going to bring permanent change. Like whatever's being seeded right now during this new moon in Gemini is going to bring love and pleasure and creativity and play and romance like into your life, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah, and so you're dealing with the nodes in your 6th and 12th. I just went through that. The lunar nodes, the north and south node. That's very difficult, but you have the south node in the 12th, so you're releasing some karmic things, like things that you need to let go, self-sabotaging behavior, thoughts. So it could be a little bit of a rough ride, but if you choose this path to this higher education, like it's going to make it easier to like really seeking higher wisdom and guidance and mentorship and healing or spiritual, whatever you need. Like go abroad, get a different perspective, like whatever it is. And you may be having some changes in your relationships. You have a lot of activity going on there now. It could be a lot of illusions now coming to light that you're realizing. But that's good in the long run. You know what I mean? And you could be getting more aligned with this North Node in your 6th house of health and day-to-day routines to, in Pisces, your like fated career, like what's your actual calling. Okay? So love you, Libras. Drop me a line below if this resonates. All right, Scorpio risings. Where are my fellow Scorpio risings? Let's see. Oh God, of course. Of course the Gemini new moon's in our 8th house. Okay, well, there are some good things. We could be getting breakthroughs from bad patterns or like the blind spots that we don't see, the taboo. We may start talking about the taboo, which Scorpio risings, you maybe already have been doing that your whole life if you're like me. But we may start like channeling, writing, speaking, teaching, breaking out of this shell to the public and be able to even maybe make money off of that because it's in the 8th house of other people's money. Okay, but also this is a time to be careful about your money, about no overspending, maybe getting that kind of thing in order. And then that's in connection to Pluto in the 4th house. I feel like this is an opportunity to make money from home, like, you know what I mean, if that's what this is coming into, like some kind of work for you. But I feel like for a lot of people it is like it's using your words. It's something mercurial that is coming up for people, and a lot of decisions are having to be made probably for Scorpio risings right now, and that for sure has happened in my life, and it's hard, you know, but we have to. And we then have Saturn and Neptune and Venus in our 6th house of day-to-day routines, work routines, like, and that's what's shifting right now. There's Saturn just is moved in to try to give us structure to be able to pull this off. Okay, but this is, like I said, could be very fruitful and life-changing this time. So utilize this moon, especially if you know you're intuitive. If you're a Scorpio, you probably even know maybe what some of this 8th house stuff could be. But this is death, taxes, sex, loans, the taboo, the occult, you know what I mean? It's the Scorpio house. It's like scorpionic things. So something is being planted there that could become a great gain for you. Okay? So love you to my other Scorpio risings. I'm a 25-degreeer. Comment below if this resonates. I love you. Please subscribe to my channel. All right, you guys, we have one more. Sag, which I love Sag. Saggy daddies. I love my Sages. Okay, so for my Sag people, this is in your 7th house. What's going on with your relationships? You calling in someone? Something ending? What's happening here? Are you going to be, is your partner like in some, like changing their job and they're a journalist, or like sharing their new like work? What is it? Something's changing. Something's changing in your love and romance and in your seventh house. So if you're trying to call in a partner, this is the time to manifest it. This is the time to call it in. Do your, like, figure out what the witchy stuff is, call to the gods, call to the moon, whatever, and set your intention if that's what you want. It's making this connection to your fifth house with this, you know, Saturn and Neptune. So you may be getting clear about some illusions that you had, some little like diabolical things going on in your relationship, or like now it's getting deeper, you know, it's getting more serious. It can be a lot of different things. Okay. So that just varies for you. This is in connection to your third house. You may be finding more community through your partner, or through your relationships, or through your clients, or through the people, your audience. Okay. And that could also be fruitful for you. That's why I wanted to jump on and talk about this new moon. Now I have done all the signs. I love you all. This is my first time just doing this. I just wanted to pop on and talk about it real quick. You know, like I said, this Gemini new moon is great potential to create something, to channel something, and have great reward financially later. Okay, so the seeds are being planted. We'll see this over the next 6 months. If you like my vibe and you like my stuff, please comment. Say, hey, what's up? I want to talk to y'all. Sorry if the sound sucks. I'm going to get better at it. But I want to help people. And this is a fruitful time. And I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't mean it. Okay? So please subscribe. Comment below. Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're at. Tell me your rising sign. If you don't know it, tell me your sun and your moon. I love you. My name is Rose. Cosmic Drops to Jupiter. You can always support me in any way. I'm going through a traumatic eye injury. Had an open globe surgery. I have 18 stitches in my eye. So now we're doing astrology from my UFO couch. Okay? Love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah.